Have you ever dreamed of traveling the world, setting foot in magnificent UNESCO heritage sites, but felt held back by distance, time, or cost? Today, forget all the limits. In this documentary, you'll be immersed in the greatest wonders on Earth, exploring ancient cities frozen in time, mystical architectural masterpieces, and breathtaking natural marvels, without ever leaving the comfort of your home. Whether you're fascinated by the echoes of history, driven by a thirst for discovery, or simply longing to witness the planet's extraordinary beauty, this journey will take you to places beyond imagination. Timgad, often called the Pompeii of Africa, is an ancient Roman city in Algeria, remarkably preserved by desert sand covering it for over 1,000 years. Built in 100 AD under Emperor Trajan, the city stands out with its perfect urban planning in a grid pattern, forming 111 equal square blocks. Timgad was specifically built for veterans from the 3rd Augustan Legion, each granted a plot of land as a reward for military service. One of the most interesting discoveries is an inscription on stone at the public baths. Hunting, bathing, playing, and laughing. That is life. Notably, the stone-paved streets still retain traces of carriage wheels, allowing archaeologists to determine the exact standard dimensions of Roman vehicles. Wadi Rum, also known as the Valley of the Moon, is a vast rocky desert in southern Jordan, covering an area of 278 square miles. The special terrain was formed over millions of years by wind and water erosion, creating sandstone rock formations up to 541 feet high with characteristic orange-red color due to high iron oxide content. The Bedouin people have lived here for thousands of years in traditional mobile tents made from black goat hair called Beit al-Sha'ar. Throughout the area, thousands of rock carvings dating back 12,000 years are preserved, testifying to the long human presence. In 2011, UNESCO recognized Wadi Rum as a World Heritage Site with dual criteria for natural and cultural value. The cliffs of Moher in Ireland are an impressive natural wonder, reaching 702 feet at their highest point, equivalent to a 70-story building. Formed about 320 million years ago during the Carboniferous period from sediments of an ancient river, these cliffs stretch approximately 9 miles along the Atlantic Ocean coastline. They are a paradise for over 20 bird species, with about 3,000 individuals, particularly one of the rare places in Europe to observe Atlantic puffins with their distinctive, colorful beaks. The cliffs of Moher sometimes witness the strange phenomenon of reverse waterfalls, when strong winds from the Atlantic blow waterfall spray upward. Beyond their natural beauty, the area is famous as a filming location for movies like Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince and the Princess Bride. Although a popular tourist destination with a sustainably designed visitor center, the cliffs pose hidden dangers with winds that can reach 93 miles per hour and are continuously eroding at a rate of about 4 inches each year. The pyramids of Giza are the only surviving structure among the 7 wonders of the ancient world, built more than 4,500 years ago. The Great Pyramid was originally 481 feet tall, now standing at 455 feet due to the loss of its outer casing. This massive structure was built from approximately 2.3 million stone blocks, each weighing an average of 2.5 tons, with some blocks in the King's Chamber weighing up to 80 tons. Amazingly, the stone blocks were cut with extreme precision, with base edges deviating by only 2.3 inches on average and right angles deviating by only 1/60 of a degree. Despite existing for millennia and enduring numerous destruction attempts, the pyramids still stand as a testament to the ancient Egyptians' extraordinary mastery of mathematics, astronomy, and construction techniques. The meteora, meaning suspended in air, is a unique monastery complex perched on giant rock pillars, 984 by 968 feet tall in central Greece. These rock pillars were formed about 60 million years ago through erosion and geological transformation. Initially, there were 24 monasteries built, but today only 6 monasteries remain active. The first monastery was established in 1334 by monk Athanasios Koinovitis, marking the beginning of monastery construction on the rock peaks. Amazingly, the monasteries were built without modern machinery, with all construction materials hauled to the top using primitive pulley systems or carried up by monks climbing the mountains. UNESCO recognized Meteora as a World Cultural Heritage Site in 1988. Kyoto, Japan's capital from 794 to 1868, is located in a valley at an elevation of 164 feet. It is renowned for its over 2,000 ancient temples and vibrant cherry blossoms and red leaves throughout the 4 seasons. Founded by Emperor Kanmu as Heian-kyo, it marked the beginning of a golden era. In 1994, UNESCO recognized 17 of Kyoto's historical sites as World Heritage Sites. The city is famous as the birthplace of traditional tea ceremonies, no theater, and the ancient Gion Matsuri festival, all symbols of refined Japanese culture. It epitomizes the harmony between tradition and modernity, housing 20% of Japan's national heritage treasures. Today, Kyoto attracts 50 million visitors each year, preserving its ancient structures and unique identity despite the challenges of tourism. Jaipur, the capital of Rajasthan in India, is famous for its nickname, the Pink City, due to the characteristic color of its buildings. The city was founded in 1727 by Maharaja Jai Singh II, who ruled Amer, and was designed based on the principles of Vastu Shastra and Shilpa Shastras. Jaipur is a prominent tourist destination in India's Golden Triangle, along with Agra and Delhi. The city is home to 2 UNESCO World Heritage Sites, Jantar Mantar and Amer Fort. Jaipur is also famous for the Hua Mahal Palace, which was built with 953 small windows, allowing royal ladies to view the streets without being seen. The city also boasts bustling markets such as Johari Bazaar and Bapu Bazaar. Where visitors can shop for handicrafts, jewelry, and textiles. Florence, often called the cradle of the Renaissance, is located in the heart of Tuscany, Italy. The 150-mile-long Arno River flows through the city, adding to its poetic beauty and historical charm. Florence is celebrated as the birthplace of artistic and literary icons such as Michelangelo and Dante. The construction of Florence's main cathedral began in 1296, with its grand dome completed in 1436, showcasing architectural brilliance. From 1865 to 1871, Florence briefly served as the capital of Italy, highlighting its political and historical significance. Renaissance art and architecture here redefine beauty to enthrall tourists. Palenque is a remarkable archaeological site of the Maya civilization, located in the dense rainforest of Chiapas, Mexico, and designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1987. Situated at an altitude of approximately 492 feet, Palenque is distinguished by its refined architectural style, intricate sculptures, and extensive hieroglyphic inscriptions. The most famous structure is the 75-foot-tall Temple of the Inscriptions, where archaeologist Alberto Ruiz Luillier discovered King Pakal's tomb in 1952, one of the most significant archaeological finds in North America. Palenque's Maya engineers developed an advanced water management system, using underground aqueducts to regulate the flow of the Otulam River through the city. Currently, Only about 10% of the ancient city has been excavated, with estimates suggesting it originally contained over 1,500 structures spanning nearly 6 square miles. Sigiriya in central Sri Lanka is a 660-foot-high rock fortress famous for a palace atop it, built by King Kassapa in the 5th century, 105 miles from Colombo. Named a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1982, it has over 1,200 stone steps leading to the top, amid lush tropical forest. Sigiriya stands out with the Sigiriya Maidens frescoes, painted 1,500 years ago and still vivid, and a mirror wall inscribed with ancient Sinhala poetry. In 427, King Kassapa turned the rock into a capital, ruled for 18 years, then abandoned it in 495, leaving intricate gardens and water systems. This volcanic rock rises from the plains with sheer cliffs, creating a unique and majestic landscape. Today, Sigiriya is well preserved. Though the palace is in ruins, visitors climb via iron stairs in a wild setting, attracting history and nature lovers. Covering around 500 square miles, Serra da Capivara is among the most important archaeological and biological sites in Brazil. Features rock art over 1,000 years old, showing animals and human activity. It is home to relics ranging back 25,000 to 3,000 years. Considered some of the first proof of human habitation in South America, these paintings. Serra da Capivara's special archaeological and ecological worth earned it a UNESCO World Heritage listing in 1991. Though difficulties in safeguarding its artifacts and natural ecosystems from damage, the area is now under great conservation. Founded in 1350 and spanning until it was sacked by the Burmese in 1767, Ayutthaya is the ancient capital of the Ayutthaya Kingdom. Built on an island with three main rivers around, Chao Phraya, Lopburi, and Pasak Ayutthaya. Commerce with nations such as Portugal, the Netherlands, and China, the city grew quickly and rose to become one of the most significant commerce hubs in Southeast Asia. Along with detailed carvings, Ayutthaya's unique architecture features temples, palaces, and shrines constructed of red brick. These ruins mirror the cultural interaction between several civilizations, as well as the prosperity of the monarchy. Ayutthaya is a UNESCO World Heritage Site today. Efforts at preservation of its important historical and cultural elements are under progress. Pompeii, an ancient Roman city with a population of about 20,000 people, was buried under 13 to 20 feet of ash after Mount Vesuvius erupted in 79 AD. This disaster, though traditionally believed to have occurred in August, has recent evidence from nuts and winter cloaks suggesting it may have happened in October or November. Surprisingly, most victims didn't die from lava, but from pyroclastic surges, clouds of hot gas and ash moving at speeds up to 435 miles per hour and temperatures reaching 1832 degrees. The The volcanic ash preserved the city almost perfectly, to the extent that archaeologists found bread still in its original shape and food in cooking pots. Pompeii had about 150 fast food outlets called thermopolia, ancient versions of takeaway food, along with an advanced water supply system using lead pipes. The city also contains over 11,000 graffiti drawings on walls, ranging from political slogans to personal messages, and numerous electoral campaign posters showing a vibrant election system not unlike modern political campaigns. Tsingy de Bemaraha National Park in Madagascar is a unique geological wonder recognized by UNESCO as a World Heritage Site in 1990. The name Tsingy in Malagasy means where one cannot walk barefoot, accurately reflecting the dangerous nature of the sharp limestone spikes that reach up to 328 feet high. These rock formations were formed about 200 million years ago and were created when acidic rainwater seeped into limestone, creating cracks and caves. Beneath the stone forest is a vast network of caves that has not been fully explored. Despite the harsh environment, the park is home to 11 mammal species, 103 bird species, and more than 650 plant species. For the indigenous Sakalava people, some areas in the Tsingy are considered sacred burial grounds for ancestors. The El Gem Amphitheatre in Tunisia is one of the best preserved Roman amphitheatres and the third largest in the world, only behind the Colosseum in Rome and the Capua Amphitheatre in Italy. Built around 238 AD, this structure has impressive dimensions, about 486 feet long, 400 feet wide, and 118 feet high, with a capacity of up to 35,000 spectators. Amazingly, the entire amphitheater was built with yellow sandstone without using mortar, only by stacking precisely cut stones. Beneath the arena floor is a complex network of underground tunnels where gladiators and wild animals were kept before fights, with lifting mechanisms to bring them up to the arena unexpectedly. Throughout history, it served as a refuge for locals against the Ottoman army in the 17th century. Since 1985, the amphitheater has also hosted the annual Elgem Symphony Music Festival, where orchestras perform in the ancient space with excellent natural acoustics. Carcassonne, a city located in the Occitania region of southern France, is famous for its medieval citadel, La Cité, which was recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1997. The name Carcassonne, according to legend, derives from Carcass, a woman who saved the city from a siege. It is the largest intact medieval fortress in Europe, with 2 wall rings extending nearly 2 miles, 52 watchtowers, and an area of about 27 acres. Interestingly, the distinctive conical roofs on the towers are not original medieval designs, but were added by architect Viollet-le-Duc during the 19th century restoration. The fortress was almost destroyed in 1849, but was fortunately saved thanks to the intervention of writer Prosper Mérimée. The city has inspired the globally popular board game Carcassonne and has been the setting for many films. The Rocky Mountain Parks of Canada is one of the world's most amazing natural wonders, recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site since 1984. This area is home to more than 56 mammal species, 280 bird species, and over 1,000 diverse plant species. What's special is that Rocky Mountain Parks contains over 1,000 active glaciers, some of which have existed for thousands of years, and provide important freshwater sources. The lakes in the parks have a characteristic turquoise color, due to limestone powder from melting glaciers, creating stunning scenery. This area sits on the continental divide of North America, where water flows in two different directions, one side toward the Pacific Ocean and the other toward the Atlantic Ocean. Lijiang is an ancient city located in Yunnan Province, China, recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1997. Situated at an altitude of about 774 feet above sea level, this city is famous for its ancient water canal system, built in the 13th century, which still functions effectively today without modern pumps. Unlike most ancient Chinese cities, Lijiang has no surrounding walls, reflecting the Naxi people's philosophy of living in harmony with nature. The Naxi people in Lijiang use Dongba script, one of the only surviving pictographic writing systems in the world, with over 1,400 characters. Notably, the ancient houses in Lijiang were designed with unique earthquake-resistant techniques, helping the city withstand the major earthquake of 1996. Lijiang is also home to ancient Naxi music, considered a living fossil of ancient Chinese music from the Tang and Song dynasties. Valletta, the capital of Malta, is one of the first planned cities in the world, completely designed on paper before being built in 1566. With an area of just 0.31 square miles, it is the smallest capital in the European Union, but contains 320 historic monuments, creating the highest density of cultural heritage in the world. Remarkably, this city was built in just 15 years, from 1566 to 1581, an extraordinary achievement with the technology of that time. Since the 16th century, Valletta has had an advanced rainwater collection system under its streets, helping the city survive in Malta's dry conditions. Beneath Valletta is a complex network of tunnels and shelters used during World War II to protect over 30,000 people from air raids. An interesting tradition is the firing of cannons that takes place daily at noon from the saluting battery, maintained from 1566 to the present day, originally to signal time to ships. Dubrovnik was once the independent Republic of Ragusa for nearly 450 years, pioneering in many aspects. The city proudly had Europe's first public healthcare system, with a pharmacy established in 1317 that still operates today. Notably, it was also the world's first place to implement a quarantine system to prevent epidemics from the 14th century. The massive wall surrounding the city is 365 feet long, up to 82 feet high and 20 feet thick in some places, creating an impressive defensive structure. Dubrovnik once owned a powerful merchant fleet, with about 200 ships in the 16th century, becoming a competitive rival to Venice. Another proud fact is that Dubrovnik was the first place in Europe to abolish slavery in 1416. Despite experiencing many disasters, such as the earthquake of 1667 and being devastated during the 1991-1992 war, the city has been excellently restored and preserved, affirming its position as the Pearl of the Adriatic. The Statue of Liberty was given to the United States by France in 1886 to commemorate 100 years of American independence. The statue stands 151 feet tall, with a total height from heel to the tip of the torch of 305 feet. It is made of copper, which has turned green due to the natural process of oxidation. The statue depicts a woman holding a torch and a stone tablet, inscribed with the date of America's independence. Recognized as a national monument, the Statue of Liberty is one of the most popular tourist attractions in New York, drawing millions of visitors each year. Visitors can explore the statue's pedestal and museum on Liberty Island, but must make a reservation in advance to access the torch. The Statue of Liberty is not only a symbol of freedom, but also an inspiration for immigrants coming to the United States. It has also become a global symbol in art and culture. Carthage is an ancient city founded around 814 BC by the Phoenicians from Tyre. The city was famous for its two unique harbors, a rectangular commercial port and a circular naval port capable of housing over 220 ships. The city was surrounded by a wall over 25 miles long, which protected it from attacks. After several wars with Rome, particularly the Punic Wars, Carthage was completely destroyed by Rome in 146 BC. However, Carthage was later rebuilt by Rome and became the third largest city in the Roman Empire. The Carthage archaeological site was recognized as a World Heritage Site by UNESCO in 1979, highlighting the historical and cultural value of this ancient city. Rio de Janeiro in Brazil, covering 486 square miles, is nestled between the 3,300-foot mountains and the sea by the Guanabra Bay. The city is famous for its vibrant carnival, which has been celebrated since the 17th century, and the iconic 98-foot Christ the Redeemer statue completed in 1931. In 2012, UNESCO recognized Rio for its stunning urban landscape, complemented by a tropical climate of 77 to 86 degrees that illuminates its golden beaches. Known as the birthplace of samba and bossa nova, Rio blends a dynamic culture with its natural surroundings. Despite challenges like bay pollution and flooding, the city is adapting through enhanced public transport and green initiatives, continuing to enchant with its marvelous charm. The Great Barrier Reef, located off the coast of Queensland in northeastern Australia, is the largest coral reef system in the world, stretching over 1,430 miles and consisting of more than 2,900 individual reefs, 900 islands, and cays. The Great Barrier Reef is home to over 1,500 species of fish, 400 species of coral, and 4,000 species of mollusks, creating a rich marine ecosystem. This coral reef was designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1981. However, this ecosystem is facing many challenges, including climate change, pollution, and mass tourism. Coral bleaching events due to rising sea temperatures have occurred many times in recent years, significantly reducing the amount of live coral. Currently, efforts to conserve and restore the Great Barrier Reef are being carried out through research programs and community education. Samarkand lies in Central Asia, in Uzbekistan, on a plateau about 2,300 feet above sea level as the heart of the legendary Silk Road. The city is renowned for its splendid Islamic architecture from the golden age of the 14th–15th centuries under Timur's reign, with turquoise mosaics and stunning curved domes. In 329 BC, Alexander the Great conquered it, naming it Marakanda, and in 1220 the Mongols ravaged it, but the city quickly revived. Samarkand was once an academic hub, with Ulugh Beg's observatory built in 1420, greatly contributing to world science. Today, it's a UNESCO World Heritage Site since 2001, with Registan Square and Guri Amir Mausoleum impressively preserved, attracting over 2 million visitors annually before 2020. The city holds unique significance as the Pearl of the Silk Road due to its blend of civilizations and enduring vitality over thousands of years. Gjirokastra, recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 2005, is famous for its nickname City of Stone, as most architectural structures are built from local stone. This city is the birthplace of famous writer Ismail Kadare and Albanian communist dictator Enver Hoxha. The Gjirokastra fortress from the 12th century is one of the largest fortresses in the Balkans, now serving as a weapons museum displaying many artifacts from World War II and the communist era. The city has a history spanning over 2,500 years, beginning as a settlement of the ancient Illyrians. Every 5 years, Gjirokastra hosts the National Folklore Festival, showcasing traditional music and dances. During the Cold War, the city had a system of bunkers and secret tunnels beneath the ground. Alhambra, a monument to Islamic art in Granada, Spain, is on Sabika Hill. The complex has palaces, fortifications, and elaborately designed gardens with lots of embellishments. Alhambra's historical and cultural worth helped it to be named a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1984. Among the most unique elements of Alhambra are the Nasrid palaces, distinguished for their geometric designs and Arabic calligraphy. Once the Nasrid rulers' home, Alhambra was the hub of authority during their rule. Alhambra has kept its beauty and originality despite millennia passing, drawing millions of visitors each. Alhambra's preservation is an important chore that calls for government and international organization cooperation. Comprising an area of more than 3,260 square miles, Sundarbans National Park is the biggest mangrove forest in the world, situated in India and Bangladesh. Known for its richness, particularly the Bengal tiger, the only tiger species found in mangrove forests, this is an unusual ecology. Numerous additional uncommon species, including crocodiles, monkeys, and several bird species, call Sundarbans home. Protecting the shoreline from erosion and shielding species from environmental hazards depends on this region extensively. Sundarbans became identified as a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1987. Thousands of local residents who mostly live by farming and fishing also interact peacefully with the surroundings. Though Sundarbans is confronting several issues including pollution, climate change, and human encroachment, conservation initiatives are under progress to save this region. Kakadu National Park in Australia is home to the oldest continuous cultural history on Earth, with humans having lived here for at least 65,000 years. What's special is that the indigenous Bininj-Mungi people recognize 6 different seasons instead of the usual 4, demonstrating their deep understanding of the ecosystem. Kakadu is famous for its unique X-ray rock art, in which indigenous artists depict the internal organs of animals. The park contains over 5,000 recorded rock art sites, with some paintings dating back up to 2,000 years. It is also home to about 1,000 saltwater crocodiles, which can grow up to 20 feet long and weigh 2,200 pounds. Despite occupying only 1% of Australia's land area, Kakadu contains 1/3 of the country's bird species, 1/4 of freshwater fish species, and 1/5 of mammal species, making it one of the most biodiverse regions on the continent. The Sistine Chapel is an artistic masterpiece located in the Apostolic Palace at the Vatican, built from 1473 to 1481 during the papacy of Sixtus IV. The impressive dimensions of the chapel are about 134 feet long, 44 feet wide, and 68 feet high, designed based on the description of Solomon's temple in the Bible. Interestingly, Michelangelo, who created the famous frescoes on the ceiling, actually did not consider himself a painter but a sculptor, and initially did not want to take on this project. He had to work in a painful position, looking up for 4 years to complete the ceiling with more than 300 figures. The chapel is also famous for the Last Judgment on the altar wall, containing about 400 figures. This space is also where the papal conclave takes place to elect a new pope, with the white smoke ritual signaling that a new pope has been chosen. The major restoration from 1980 to 1999 restored the original vibrant colors of these priceless artworks. Luang Prabang, an ancient city in northern Laos, is situated at the confluence of the Mekong and Nam Khan rivers, meaning Royal Golden Buddha. Recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1995, this city stands out with over 30 ancient Buddhist temples and architecture combining traditional Laotian and French colonial styles. Every morning at 5:30, hundreds of monks in orange robes perform the Takbat alms-giving ritual on the streets, maintaining a centuries-old spiritual tradition. Luang Prabang enforces strict building regulations with buildings not allowed to exceed 2 stories and required to follow traditional architectural styles. Interestingly, the city has no traffic lights, but still maintains order thanks to the respectful culture of the locals. The city also has an unofficial curfew at 11:30 p.m. to maintain a peaceful atmosphere. Luang Prabang cuisine is a unique combination of traditional Laotian and French influences, with famous dishes like lap, khao soi, and Lao French bread. Český Krumlov is a charming ancient town in South Bohemia, Czech Republic, located about 106 miles south of the capital Prague. The name of the town originates from the Old German Krumme Ohe, meaning crooked meadow, describing the topography with the Vltava River winding around the town in an S shape. Recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site since 1992, the town fortunately escaped the destruction of World War II and the Communist era, preserving over 300 historical buildings. The highlight of Český Krumlov is the second largest castle in the Czech Republic, which houses a complete Baroque theatre built in 1680 with original scenery and costumes from the 17th–18th centuries. A unique tradition from the 16th century is keeping bears in the castle moat as a symbol of power, which continues to this day. The town is also famous for its puppet museum, with over 2,000 items, and was a filming location for The Illusionist in 2006. Windy, impenetrable forest is an ancient forest in Uganda, recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1994. Windy, in the local language, means place of darkness, reflecting the dense forest canopy that blocks sunlight. This 124 square mile forest is home to about 400 mountain gorillas, representing nearly half of the world's remaining population of this critically endangered primate. With a formation history dating back over 25,000 years, Windy is one of Africa's oldest forests, surviving even the last ice age. Despite its relatively small area, Windy contains over 1,000 plant species, 120 mammal species, 350 bird species, and 200 butterfly species. The Batwa people lived in this forest for over 5,000 years before it was converted into a national park in 1991. Sighișoara is a medieval fortress town in Romania, recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1999. It is one of the few medieval fortress towns in Europe that remains perfectly preserved and continuously inhabited since the 12th century. Sighișoara is famous as the birthplace of Vlad Tepes in 1431, the historical figure who inspired the famous Count Dracula. The town's 210 feet tall clock tower has a complex clock mechanism from the 17th century that still works today, with automated figurines representing the days of the week. Originally, the town had 14 defensive towers, each maintained by a craftsman's guild. Today, 9 towers remain, each named after a craft. Houses in the old town are painted in vibrant colors, following medieval tradition, not just for decoration, but also to distinguish between different families' homes. Fuji-san, or Mount Fuji, is the highest mountain in Japan, standing at 1,388 feet. This mountain is not only famous for its conical shape, but also serves as a cultural and spiritual symbol of Japan. Mount Fuji was recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 2013 due to its exceptional religious and cultural significance. Mount Fuji is a stratovolcano and has not erupted since its last eruption in 1707. However, it remains an important pilgrimage site in both Shinto and Buddhist beliefs. Thousands of people climb the mountain every year, especially in the summer, to conquer Japan's highest peak. Mount Fuji is also an ideal destination for those who love nature and challenges. Trogir is a beautiful ancient city located along the Adriatic coast of Croatia, founded in the 3rd century BC. This city stands out for its harmonious blend of Roman, Gothic, and Renaissance architecture, creating a unique historical space. Trogir was recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1997 due to the excellent preservation of its historical landmarks. One of Trogir's highlights is the St. Lawrence Church, a Gothic structure built in the 13th century, renowned for its exquisite sculptures. The city is also notable for its ancient towers and palaces, all showcasing the fusion of different civilizations. Trogir is not just a tourist destination, but also a cultural center, hosting music events, festivals, and artistic activities. Baalbek, the mysterious land in Lebanon, is a place that preserves humanity's astonishing ancient architectural wonders. Most notable here is the giant stone block weighing up to 1,650 tons, considered the largest stone carved by humans in all of history. During Roman times, this place was called Heliopolis, the city of the sun, and was an important religious center of the empire. The Temple of Jupiter at Baalbek is overwhelming with columns 72 feet tall, among the tallest in the ancient world. What's amazing is that the foundation stones are placed so tightly that a blade cannot be inserted between them, despite using no mortar. The Temple of Bacchus here is preserved almost intact, being one of the most beautiful remaining Roman structures in the world. The Baalbek Temple complex has a construction history spanning 300 years, with many different cultural foundations, from Phoenician to Roman. Nazca Lines in Peru is one of the most fascinating archaeological mysteries in the world, with over 800 straight lines, 300 geometric figures, and 70 giant animal and plant designs. The famous hummingbird figure has a size of 217 feet, while the monkey figure stretches up to 305 feet across the desert surface. What's amazing is that these lines have existed for nearly 2,000 years without being erased, thanks to the extremely dry climate of the Nazca Desert, with annual rainfall of only about 20 mm. Although they can only be fully seen from above, the ancient Nazca people had no flying technology. They created these designs using simple ropes and wooden stakes as measuring tools. Many scientists believe these lines are related to astronomy, calendars, and rain rituals, especially as many lines coincide with the locations of underground water sources. The Nazca lines were only discovered in the 1920s when commercial aircraft began flying over the area and were studied and protected by archaeologist Maria Reicher, who dedicated 40 years of her life to them. Budapest is the captivating capital of Hungary, with unique features attracting global tourists. The city formed from the merger of three areas, Buda, Pest, and Obuda, in 1873, stretching across both sides of the magnificent Danube River. Budapest proudly possesses the first underground metro system on the European continent, operating since 1896, demonstrating the pioneering spirit of the city. The most special thing about Budapest is perhaps its more than 120 natural hot springs, making it the only city in the world that still preserves numerous intact Ottoman thermal baths from the Turkish era. The Hungarian Parliament building is an impressive structure, ranking third largest in the world for legislative bodies. Budapest is also the birthplace of the globally famous intellectual puzzle Rubik's Cube, invented by architect Erno Rubik in 1974. Ephesus is one of the most magnificent ancient cities in the world, with rich history and impressive architecture. In the 1st century CE, Ephesus was the second largest city of the Roman Empire, with a population of up to 25,000 people, only after the capital Rome. The city was famous for the Temple of Artemis, one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, 4 times larger than the Parthenon in Athens, and built entirely of marble. The city also had one of the world's first public toilets, where the elite often met to discuss business. The Celsus Library once stored over 12,000 papyrus scrolls, making it the 3rd largest library in the ancient world. At Ephesus, archaeologists discovered the world's oldest advertisement, a carving showing directions to the local brothel, evidence of a vibrant social life. Palace of Versailles is an architectural masterpiece with 700 rooms and 20,300 windows, once the center of power in France during the reign of King Louis XIV. The famous Hall of Mirrors is 240 feet long, decorated with 357 mirrors, a symbol of wealth, as mirrors were extremely expensive items at that time. To operate the 1,400 fountains in the grounds, a complex hydraulic system with 14 giant water wheels operating continuously was built. The palace was once home to about 1,000 people, from royalty to servants, and the cost of building and maintaining it took up to 25% of France's national budget at that time. Queen Marie Antoinette even had a fake small village built specially for her within the grounds, where she could pretend to live as a farmer for entertainment. Mount Athos is a unique autonomous region in the world, with strict regulations completely banning women and even female animals, except for cats, hens, and some insects. To enter this place, male visitors need to obtain a diamanitirion, a special permit, and only 100 non-Orthodox visitors are allowed in each day. Interestingly, the monks on Mount Athos live according to the ancient Julian calendar and Byzantine time system, making them lag 13 days behind and have a different time calculation from the rest of the world. The libraries here preserve more than 2,000 ancient books and about 14,000 rare manuscripts, creating one of the largest collections of ancient Christian texts in the world. Many monasteries were built like fortresses on cliff faces, previously only accessible by baskets pulled up by ropes. Although part of modern Greece, Mount Athos has its own self-governance, with its own port, ships, and tax system. Stonehenge is a famous megalithic monument in England, located on the Salisbury Plain in Wiltshire. It is a large circle made of giant stones, with the largest stones, sarsens, weighing about 25 tons and transported from the quarry about 16 miles away. Stonehenge was built without wheels, modern machinery, or draft animals. The monument was constructed according to precise astronomical principles, with its main axis aligning with the sunrise on the summer solstice and sunset on the winter solstice. Human bone tests show that it was once an ancient pilgrimage site, attracting people from afar. Although only about half of the original structure remains, Stonehenge remains one of the most popular tourist attractions and was recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1986. Polonnaruwa, the ancient city in Sri Lanka, was once the second capital after Anuradhapura was destroyed by the Chola army from South India in the 10th century. The golden age of this place occurred during the reign of King Parakramabahu III, who built the Parakrama Samudra Reservoir spanning over 687 acres, which still supplies water to this region today. Most impressive here is the Gal Vihara complex, with 4 giant Buddha statues carved from a single granite block, where the reclining Buddha is 46 feet long. Vatadaj, with its unique circular design and 4 entrances decorated with intricately carved moonstone slabs, is a remarkable architectural highlight. Polonnaruwa attracts visitors not only for its historical value, but also for its wild monkey populations, especially the red-faced macaques that frequently appear around the ruins. Chichen Itza, an ancient wonder of the Maya civilization, contains many amazing scientific mysteries. The El Castillo Pyramid was designed with 365 steps, corresponding to the number of days in a year. During the spring and autumn equinoxes, sunlight creates the feathered serpent Kukulkan, moving along the staircase, demonstrating the advanced astronomical knowledge of the Maya. The Great Ball Court has special acoustics. A whisper at one end can be heard clearly at a distance of 492 feet. In the ritual ball game, winners were often honored with sacrifice, as this was considered a direct path to heaven. The name Chichen Itza means mouth of the well of the Itza, referring to the sacred well and the tribe that once ruled. Each year, Chichen Itza welcomes over 2.5 million visitors, making it one of the most visited archaeological sites in Mexico. The Temple of Luxor, an ancient structure over 3,400 years old, was built mainly during the reign of Pharaoh Amenhotep III and later expanded by Ramses II. This was the site of the important Opet festival, when the statue of god Amun was paraded from Karnak Temple to Luxor Temple. Interestingly, One of the two original obelisks now stands in Place de la Concorde in Paris, gifted to France in 1836. The temple underwent many transformations when Roman Emperor Constantine built a Christian church inside, and later part of it was converted into a mosque. Luxor Temple and Karnak Temple were once connected by an avenue of sphinxes nearly 2 miles long, with over 700 sphinx statues lining both sides, only fully restored in 2021. Alexander the Great also built his own shrine here, with walls portraying him as an Egyptian pharaoh, demonstrating the unique Greco-Egyptian cultural fusion. The Okavango Delta in Botswana is a unique natural wonder as one of the rare inland deltas in the world, where the river flows into the desert instead of the sea. The phenomenon of reverse seasonal flooding creates something strange. When most of Africa is dry, Okavango gets flooded due to rainfall from Angola arriving after 4 months. The delta's area changes significantly by season, from about 2316 square miles to 5,792 square miles during flood season. This place is home to one of the world's largest elephant herds, with about 32,000 individuals, representing nearly 1/3 of Africa's remaining wild elephants. Giant Nile crocodiles up to 16 feet long and weighing 2,200 pounds also live here. Remarkably, despite the abundance of animals, Okavango's water remains extremely clean and directly drinkable thanks to natural filtration systems. Local people travel using traditional dugout canoes called mokoro, creating a distinctive cultural element within this diverse ecosystem that hosts 530 bird species, 160 mammal species, and over 1,500 plant species. The Great Wall of China, a magnificent structure of China, has many interesting facts that few people know about. Contrary to popular belief, the wall cannot be seen from the moon with the naked eye, and the name 10,000 Li is just a symbolic expression of its greatness, not its actual length. The wall was built using various materials such as stone, brick, rammed earth, and wood, with an average height of 23 to 26 feet. Surprisingly, most of the wall that tourists visit today is only about 500 pounds 600 years old, rebuilt during the Ming Dynasty. The Great Wall was not just a defensive structure, but also a home for soldiers and their families, forming small communities along the wall. The complex communication system, using smoke and beacon lights, allowed messages about attacks to be transmitted from the border to the capital within hours. Sadly, it is estimated that over 1 million people died during the construction, leading to the nickname, the longest cemetery in the world. Salamanca, a historic Spanish city, is known as La Dorada, the Golden City, due to the sunlight reflecting on its distinctive yellow Villa Mayor sandstone buildings. Located about 132 miles west of Madrid, the city was recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1988. Plaza Mayor, built from 1729 to 1755 in Baroque style, forms a perfect square surrounded by 88 arches. A unique architectural feature of Salamanca is the presence of two adjoining cathedrals, the old cathedral from the 12th century and the new cathedral from the 16th century. Salamanca is also considered the cradle of modern Spanish, where the first Spanish grammar book was published in 1492. Bruges, the ancient city of Belgium, is known as the Venice of the North, with its 50-mile canal system winding throughout the city. The historic center of Bruges was recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 2000, with medieval buildings preserved almost intact from the 13th–15th centuries. The symbol of the city is the Belfort Bell Tower, standing 272 feet tall, with 366 steps, where visitors can enjoy panoramic views of the city. Bruges' history began in the 9th century when Count Baldwin built a fortress against Viking invasions, reaching its golden age during the 12th–15th centuries when it became Europe's wealthiest trading center. A significant natural event was the storm of 1134 that created the Zwin Bay, connecting Bruges to the North Sea and transforming it into a commercial seaport. The Angkor Temple complex spans an area of about 154 square miles, once the center of the powerful Khmer Empire, with a population of up to 1 million people. Angkor Wat, the most famous temple, covers 402 acres and is surrounded by a wall 2.2 miles long, with a central tower 213 feet high. Built from the 9th to the 15th century, this complex represents a unique fusion of Hinduism and Buddhism. Particularly impressive is the complex irrigation system, with the West Baray Reservoir measuring 5 miles exact to 1.3 miles. After being abandoned in 1431, following an attack by Siamese forces, Angkor was rediscovered by French naturalist Henri Mouhot in 1860. The Tower of London, built in 1078 by order of William the Conqueror, is a complex of 21 different towers on the north bank of the Thames River. The impressive White Tower stands 89 feet tall, with walls 15 feet thick at the base, constructed from Caen limestone imported from France. Throughout nearly a millennium, this structure has served many important roles, from fortress, palace, and prison to treasury, and even England's first royal zoo. Interestingly, a group of ravens is carefully tended by the Raven Master, with the belief that if the ravens leave the tower, the kingdom will fall. The yeoman warders or beefeaters in their traditional red-black uniforms still perform the ceremony of the keys every evening, a tradition that has continued for over 700 years. Today, the Tower of London houses the crown jewels, featuring the world's largest collection of royal regalia. The Acropolis of Athens is an architectural wonder located on a limestone hill 512 feet above sea level, where humans have settled since around 3000 BCE. The name Acropolis derives from ancient Greek meaning high city, reflecting its strategic position. The main construction period occurred from 47432 BCE under Pericles' leadership, with the Parthenon taking 15 years to complete at an estimated cost equivalent to 3 billion USD today. Interestingly, the buildings were not originally white as they appear now, but were decorated vibrantly with red, blue, and gold colors. Today, the Acropolis attracts about 3 million visitors annually and is being preserved using advanced laser technology to clean stone surfaces without damaging the structure. The Galapagos Islands, part of Ecuador, is famous for its unique ecosystem and rich biodiversity. Located about 620 miles off the coast of Ecuador, the archipelago includes 13 main islands, 6 smaller islands, and more than 100 rocks, with a total land area of about 3,090 square miles. Galapagos is home to many endemic species of animals and plants that are not found anywhere else in the world. The Galapagos Islands were designated as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, highlighting their ecological value and importance for scientific research. "97% of the land area of the islands has been declared a national park, and the surrounding waters are recognized by UNESCO as a biosphere reserve. The islands are an ideal destination for ecotourism activities, including snorkeling, hiking, and wildlife observation. The Roman Colosseum, or Colosseum, is one of the most famous symbols of the city of Rome, Italy. Built in the 1st century AD under Emperor Vespasian and completed under Emperor Titus, this structure could hold up to 5,000 spectators. The Colosseum was used for gladiatorial combat, public performances, and other entertainment events. After the fall of the Roman Empire, the amphitheater was abandoned and went through several upheavals, including being damaged by earthquakes. In 1980, UNESCO recognized the Colosseum as a World Heritage Site, emphasizing its historical and cultural value. The Colosseum is not only a historical monument, but also a symbol of the power and greatness of the ancient Roman Empire, showcasing the glory of a civilization. Cappadocia, located in central Turkey, is famous for its unique landscape and rich history. This area was formed from layers of sedimentary and volcanic rocks, creating strange shapes like penguins and rock churches. Cappadocia is also known for its underground cities, built thousands of years ago, with basements, churches, and food storage areas. Every morning, hundreds of hot air balloons fly through the sky, creating a spectacular sight. Cappadocia is home to many communities, with traditional villages and homes built in caves. In 1985, this region was recognized by UNESCO as a World Heritage Site, highlighting its unique cultural and natural value. The Subak system in Bali, Indonesia, is a traditional irrigation system developed over 1,000 years ago to manage water for rice fields. This system not only provides water, but also creates a complex artificial ecosystem that connects humans, nature, and deities. The rice fields in Bali are built around water temples where water distribution is managed by priests. The Subak system reflects the philosophy of Trihita Karana, emphasizing harmony between humans, nature, and deities. In 2012, UNESCO recognized the Subak system as a World Heritage Site, appreciating its cultural and ecological value. The Subak system not only benefits irrigation, but also plays an important role in maintaining culture and honoring the connection between the community and nature. Serengeti National Park in Tanzania, spanning 5,700 square miles, is a famed national park with the Great Migration of 1,005 million wildebeest and 25,000 zebras across its savanna grasslands. Established in 1951, it was named a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1981 for its unique ecosystem, averaging 5,577 feet in elevation. Serengeti hosts 3,000 lions, Africa's highest density, plus elephants, rhinos, and 500 bird species. Its name, Serengeti, from the Maasai word meaning endless plains, ties to 2-million-year-old fossils of human ancestors. Bathed in a tropical climate, The park radiates an untamed and captivating beauty. Today, it welcomes 35,000 visitors yearly, preserving 95% of its natural area despite climate change and wildfires, maintaining its pristine allure through safaris and hot air balloons. Plitvice Lakes National Park, located in central Croatia near the border with Bosnia and Herzegovina, is the largest and oldest national park in Croatia. The park is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and is famous for its 16 interconnected lakes, linked by waterfalls and streams. The total area of the park is approximately 296.8 square kilometers, with an elevation ranging from 1,200 feet to 4,200 feet above sea level. The lake system is divided into two groups: the upper lakes and the lower lakes, with major waterfalls like Veliki Slap, Great Falls at 256 feet, and Veliki Prstavak at 92 feet. The water in the lakes has a variety of colors, ranging from emerald to blue, depending on the mineral content and the organisms in the water. The waterfalls and lakes here were formed thousands of years ago by a process of travertine deposition. Iguazu Falls is located on the Iguazu River at the border between Argentina and Brazil and is one of the largest and most impressive waterfall systems in the world. This system includes around 275 individual waterfalls, forming a massive U-shape. The main waterfall, Garganta del Diablo, Devil's Throat, is approximately 269 feet tall and 492 feet wide, with a length of 2,297 feet. The average water flow is about 1,500 cubic meters per second and can reach up to 5,000 cubic meters per second during the rainy season. Surrounding the falls is a tropical rainforest with more than 2,000 plant species and home to various wildlife, including endangered species such as jaguars, rhinoceros, and crocodiles. Iguazu Falls is shared between two national parks and was recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Mont Saint-Michel is a wondrous rocky island in Normandy, France, 240 feet high, standing out in the bay with tides rising fast at 46 feet, turning it into an impregnable fortress. The Gothic abbey atop was built from the 11th to 13th centuries after Bishop Aubert saw Archangel Michael appear in 708. It served as a pilgrimage center and military stronghold, enduring the 100 Years' War without falling. With its small area, the island was designated a World Heritage Site by UNESCO in 1979. Mont Saint-Michel blends nature and medieval architecture uniquely, symbolizing faith and resilience. Today, it's well preserved, with a new bridge aiding access, though tides and time remain challenges. Its temperate climate brings mystical fog, with summer temperatures around 68 degrees, enhancing its fairy tale charm. Easter Island, also known as Rapa Nui, is a volcanic island located in the southeastern Pacific Ocean, part of Chile. The island covers an area of about 63 square miles and has a population of approximately 7,750 people. Known for its giant moai statues, the island is a symbol of the Rapa Nui culture. These statues were carved from tough stone, and the method of moving and erecting them remains a mystery to this day. Easter Island is one of the most remote inhabited islands in the world, located about 2,300 miles west of Chile. In 1995, the island was designated a World Heritage Site by UNESCO, and the culture of its people is also represented by the Rongorongo script, although it has not been fully deciphered.
Los 12 Apóstoles es una famosa maravilla natural de Australia a lo largo de la gran carretera del océano, con formaciones de piedra caliza de hasta 45 metros de altura, formadas por sedimentos hace entre 20 y 25 millones de años. La erosión provocada por las olas del Océano Pacífico moldeó sus formas únicas, con una tasa de aproximadamente 2.5 centímetros por año, reduciendo el número de 12 a 8 tras un colapso en 2005. El nombre 12 Apóstoles fue acuñado en 1922, inspirado en la Biblia para atraer turistas, aunque originalmente no tenía ningún vínculo religioso. Simboliza la impermanencia, donde la naturaleza cuenta una historia geológica que abarca millones de años, desde el fondo marino hasta las torres que emergen. Hoy en día, el sitio es parte de un parque nacional, preservado naturalmente con pasarelas y miradores. Base. A pesar de la erosión continua, los 12 apóstoles conservan su majestuosa belleza, con colores que van del naranja dorado al atardecer al gris plateado en la niebla, cautivando a cada viajero.
Edinburgh, the capital of Scotland, is an ancient city by the Firth of Forth, famed for Arthur's Seat, a 823-foot-high, extinct volcano. The city earned UNESCO recognition for its medieval Old Town and the New Town, built in 1767 in Georgian style. Edinburgh was the heart of the 18th century Enlightenment, birthing great ideas from Adam Smith and David Hume. The Edinburgh Fringe Festival, starting in 1947, is the world's largest arts festival, turning the city into a vibrant stage every August. What's special is how Edinburgh blends the past and present, with ancient cobblestone streets alongside prestigious universities like the University of Edinburgh. This unique mix creates an allure, making Edinburgh not just a destination, but a living, historical tale. Cartagena, a vibrant Caribbean port city in Colombia, was established in 1533 by Pedro de Heredia and once served as Spain's primary gateway for silver. The city is famous for its impressive 7-mile-long protective wall, the construction of which began in 1586 and played a crucial role in the victory over England in the Battle of 1741. Cartagena enjoys a tropical climate, with temperatures averaging 86 degrees year-round, complemented by stunning golden beaches that draw in visitors from around the world. The culture of Cartagena is a rich tapestry of Spanish, African, and indigenous influences, evident in its colonial architecture, the rhythmic champeta dance, and delicious local cuisine. For its historical significance, UNESCO designated the Old Town a World Heritage Site in 1984. Prague, the capital of the Czech Republic, is famously known as the City of 100 Spires. It is beautifully perched along the 270-mile Vltava River, which gracefully divides the city into two enchanting halves. The city's skyline is dominated by Gothic and Baroque architecture, with its historical journey beginning in the 9th century when the first castle was constructed in 870. Prague's golden age flourished under King Charles IV in the 14th century, during which the construction of the now iconic stone bridge commenced in 1357. With its combination of history, culture, and architecture, Prague attracts millions of visitors each year and continues to solidify its status as a leading cultural hub in Europe. Giant's Causeway, located in Northern Ireland, is a natural wonder famous for its approximately 4,000 hexagonal basalt columns stacked together, forming a unique stone path stretching from the cliffs to the sea. These basalt columns were formed about 60 million years ago from volcanic eruptions when the lava cooled and contracted, creating hexagonal cracks. Giant's Causeway was recognized as a World Heritage Site by UNESCO in 1986, highlighting the geological value and unique landscape of the area. Besides the natural beauty, this area is also home to many seabird species, creating a rich ecosystem. Despite enduring many historical and natural changes, Giant's Causeway remains a popular destination, particularly those who love nature and history. Palmyra, an ancient city in the heart of the Syrian desert, was once a thriving trade center on the historic Silk Road. Rising from the golden sands and surrounded by date palms, this oasis was sustained by natural springs, with summer temperatures reaching 113 degrees Celsius. Palmyra's architecture reflects a unique fusion of Roman and Eastern influences, featuring towering columns and intricately carved temples. The city served as a cultural bridge, integrating Greek, Persian, and local traditions into a rich tapestry of human civilization. However, in 2015, IS destroyed many precious relics, leaving Palmyra in ruins. Despite this devastation, ongoing UNESCO restoration efforts aim to preserve and revive Palmyra's invaluable cultural heritage. Istanbul is the only city in the world spanning two continents, Asia and Europe, stretching along the 19-mile Bosphorus Strait. This city was once the capital of three great empires: Roman from 330, Byzantine until 1453, and Ottoman thereafter, leaving a rich cultural legacy. Hagia Sophia, built in 537, was the world's largest church for nearly 1,000 years, now a mosque, showcasing a unique religious blend. Istanbul's cuisine, with kebabs, baklava, and strong Turkish tea, reflects an East-West fusion. Today, the city preserves its ancient structures well, though urbanization pressures threaten its identity. With over 15 million people, Istanbul is both historic and modern, a living history book. Valletta, the capital of Malta, is a fortress city founded in 1566 by the Knights of St. John after their great victory against the Ottoman Empire. With an area of only 0.3 square miles, it is one of Europe's smallest capitals, but contains an astonishing density of historical monuments. The city was recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1980 and was the European Capital of Culture in 2018. Valletta is a masterpiece of Renaissance urban planning with straight streets intersecting at right angles, designed by Francesco Laparelli, a student of Michelangelo. Valletta harmoniously combines historical heritage and modern life, with the Citygate reconstruction project completed by renowned architect Renzo Piano in 2015. Salzburg is a famous city in Austria, known as the birthplace of the genius composer Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. The city is renowned for its well-preserved Baroque architecture, particularly the Old Town, which was recognized as a World Heritage Site by UNESCO. Salzburg is also called the City of Music, due to its rich musical heritage and major music festivals like the annual Salzburg Festival. One of the notable landmarks is the Hohensalzburg Fortress, built in the 11th century, and one of the largest fortresses in Europe. The city is also famous for its beautiful gardens, such as the Mirabell Gardens, which feature stunning architecture and scenery. Jeju Island, located in South Korea, is a famous tourist destination with stunning natural landscapes. Formed by volcanic eruptions millions of years ago, Jeju has Hallasan, the highest mountain in South Korea, standing at 6,400 feet. The city is known for waterfalls like Cheonggyeon, the only waterfall in Asia that directly flows into the sea. One of Jeju's unique features is Dokkaebi Road, where cars can move uphill without using an engine, a strange phenomenon that fascinates visitors. Recognized by UNESCO as a World Natural Heritage, Jeju is a must-visit island for those who enjoy the blend of nature and cultural heritage. Granada, a city in southern Spain in the Andalusia region, is nestled at the foot of the majestic Sierra Nevada mountains. The city was once the capital of the last Islamic kingdom on the Iberian Peninsula, with a rich heritage from the blend of Islamic, Christian, and Jewish cultures. Granada is renowned for its stunning architecture, narrow cobblestone streets, and Mediterranean charm, drawing millions of visitors each year. The city sits at about 2,421 feet high beneath Spain's tallest mountain range, with a peak of 1,404 feet, creating a dramatic snow-capped backdrop. Today, the Alhambra is well preserved. Many old quarters retain their charm despite wear, and the city adapts to tourism with tapas restaurants and flamenco performances. Bagan is an ancient city located in Myanmar, famous for its thousands of Buddhist temples. This city was once the capital of the pagan kingdom from the 9th to the 13th century, the golden age of Myanmar civilization. Bagan had about 1,000 temples and monasteries at its peak, but now only about 2,200 structures remain. One of the major Buddhist pilgrimage sites, Bagan was named a World Heritage Site by UNESCO in 2019. The architecture in Bagan is very distinctive, with many temples built from fired bricks and adorned with wall paintings and ancient Buddha statues. Bagan holds a hot air balloon festival every November, where visitors can view the entire city from above. Bath is an ancient city in southwest England, about 112 miles from London, famous for its natural hot springs, the only ones in the country flowing at 100 feet to the with over 42 minerals. The Romans built the Aquae Sulis bath complex in 60 AD, turning Bath into a unique cultural and religious center. By the 18th century, Bath became a hotspot for the elite, with elegant Georgian architecture like the Royal Crescent, completed in 1774, made of honey-colored limestone. The city was named a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1987 for its historical value, and its hot springs pump out 3,900 gallons of water daily. Bath is also tied to literature through Jane Austen, and today the Roman baths are well preserved, though not for bathing, while Georgian houses serve as hotels or museums. The modern Thermi Bath Spa, using the same hot spring water, opened in 2006, linking the past and present.